Hello, it's Paul Clegg here, and I thought for the next few days I'd put together a framework for everybody, a blueprint, if you like, of joining up your marketing. A lot of people focus on tactics. They get heavily into social media, they get heavily into posting stuff on LinkedIn, and that is not marketing strategy. It's an element, it's a tactic. And I think that a lot of people would find it a lot easier to decide what to do next, or in fact to look at what's not working, if they had the framework. So I'm going to give you a 5-piece framework over the next few days. And the basis of that framework is based on a practical awareness and experience of being in corporate. But I must admit, I didn't look at this framework until I started to work for myself. So I know all the trials and tribulations of owning a small business, starting out as a solopreneur. I've made many mistakes, and I used to feel that used to weigh heavily on my shoulders, until I realized that my mistakes explained to you could avoid you making those same mistakes. So the first mistake that people make is they don't know who they're talking to. They think that the service they offer is so engaging that everybody will want it. So everybody should take a look at it. And that's okay to a point, to get visibility for you and maybe your product or service. But that's not the same as getting in front of an audience and knowing what that audience is about. You see, unless you're in front of the audience that can most benefit from the services and the products or whatever you do, and if you can't get in front of the people you want to help, then you're talking to yourself. And there's no more obvious than that in a digital fashion, where people spend disproportionate amounts of money to begin with on a website. They think that's the first thing they must have in business. And to a point, they should have a website, but it's not the most important. You see, people can put a website up because they think they've got visibility, but unless you get people in front of that, the right people, the right audience, it's an expensive vanity project. And that's why people get frustrated spending all of their marketing budget on a website, but don't think about getting traffic to that website. The right type of traffic. Traffic from the audience you want to get in front of. Audience is absolutely key. We've got to remember also, the audience is not busy looking, not necessarily looking for you. Yeah, in some cases, in a lot of cases, they may be looking for you. And if they can't find you on Google or wherever, then you're in trouble. But generally, the people you want to get in front of that have got a problem don't know they've got a problem. They're distracted, they're doing their own thing. So getting in front of an audience means, first of all, stopping them in their tracks, stopping them for enough time to pay attention to what you have to say. And that doesn't mean a pitch. That means getting them to stop and lean into a conversation with interest, with intrigue. And too many people, and I see it all over the place, pitch in straight away. They do it so many times at networking events. They sell their stuff. When in fact, what you want to do is to remember, you want to get people to lean in. And lean in, people will lean in when they're curious, when what you've got to say is interesting, but you haven't necessarily told the whole story. So I hope you find that of value, something to think about at least. Deciding who your audience is the first key. Who are the people you naturally are able to help? The service you offer, how does it help them get from where they are now to where they could be? So you've got to identify what problems people have got, what challenges, what fears, and focus on finding people with those challenges and fears, and then get them to lean into a conversation. Hope that helps. Speak to you soon.